We imagine the shadow is a choice, a metaphorical basement in our psyche we visit, with a torch in hand whenever we feel brave enough, a self-improvement project. But this illusion is dangerous. The shadow is not a room. It is the very foundation of the house itself. You do not work on the shadow. You simply live within its consequences. Popular culture has flattened Carl Jung's most terrifying insight into a palatable, even marketable exercise. A gentle journey to embrace your inner child or to heal old wounds. The promise is simple. Confront your shadow and manifest your desires. This sanitized version is a lie. The true shadow is not a path to manifesting abundance. It is the raw, unacknowledged capacity for evil within each of us. The hidden reservoir of jealousy, rage, cruelty, and self-deception we inherited, and which we cultivate, whether we admit it or not. It is the inner inquisitor, the whispered suggestion of malevolence, not a tender inner child. Dostoevsky understood this psychological architecture better than any self-help guru. His characters, like Raskolnikov or the Underground Man, aren't simply flawed. They are haunted by their unacknowledged shadow. Their torment isn't external fate. It is the shadow's relentless campaign from within. The unintegrated shadow does not stay quiet. It sabotages. It manifests not as a charming flaw, but as anxiety, addiction, compulsive self-destruction. It is the voice that whispers doubt, incites rage, justifies cruelty. It is the insidious architect of your suffering, constantly pushing you towards behaviors you consciously despise, yet cannot resist. It doesn't want to be healed. It wants to be seen, to be acknowledged, and in its twisted way, to control. This internal civil war is the true psychological horror. And if this internal war rages within each of us, imagine its scale when amplified across a society. When a collective refuses to acknowledge its own shadow, its capacity for hatred, injustice, and brutality, it doesn't vanish. It projects. We demonize the other. We create scapegoats. The mechanisms of religious psychology, the fervor of moral panics, the tribalism of modern politics, these are all symptoms of an unintegrated collective shadow. It manufactures systemic suffering, legitimizes oppression, and blinds us to our own complicity. The fear of our own darkness becomes the fuel for tyranny, both personal and societal. The foundation of the house shifts, cracks, and sometimes collapses. So what then? Is there a path out of this architecture of malice? Jung suggested that integration, not elimination, was the only way. To know the darkness, not to defeat it. But this is not a gentle act of self-love. It is a confrontation, a lifelong, terrifying act of vigilance against the part of yourself that wishes you and others harm. It demands a brutal honesty that most will never attain, and for those who refuse, the suffering continues, in silence, in complicity, in control. If this confrontation resonates, subscribe for more unvarnished perspectives on the human condition.